Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm just going to plant these little seedlings. There's a tree not far from me here. It's a Norway maple, and it's probably the nicest looking tree in the autumn especially. It's covered in a multicolour. All the leaves don't change colours at the same time, and it could be dark green on one side, bright yellow, and then dark red on the other side. And it's a fantastic looking tree. So I collected seeds from it last year, and I just threw them into a tray. This little pot here. You see, it's full of weeds. But the soil is quite loose, so the seedlings I could just pull them out carefully, and they just popped out. So I want to just put them into a better pot now. I'm going to put them into this shallower pot so they can spread out a bit more, because they're a bit cramped in there, and they can start growing more of a shallower root base. So when I get a chance in the autumn again this year, I'll go down and I'll do a little video of the tree, because it's unbelievable the colours that it comes. There's other trees the same along the row, but just this one, for some reason, it just gets fantastic colours, really strong colours. Okay, so there is one here, this bigger one. It's got a kind of a twisty kind of bit going on, so I'm going to plant that one on its own. So I have a little pot here. I'll just plant it in there and just leave that as a single tree. So maybe I'll do that one first so we can get it out the way. So I'll just put a little bit of drainage screen on the bottom. I think every seed I collected germinated, so that was good. I'd be almost tempted to get more next year. I'm going to do very little work on the roots if I can. It's like that. I don't want to stress them out too much. It's just that soil was not great. It was loose soil and stuff, but they were all kind of clumped together, and there's a lot of weeds in it and stuff, and it was kind of just shoved at the back of one of my overcrowded benches, so it would end up just being buried eventually and forgotten about. So I want to get them into this so I can keep an eye on them, and hopefully they should do okay. Now I'll just put some fine akadama on the top of that, just helps them kind of hold them in a bit better. The soil can be, once this kind of gets wet, it kind of seals it in a bit. Okay, so that'll do for that one. And like that, once it gets a bit older, we can bring it out a bit. But it has a kind of a bit of a natural bend in it, which wouldn't really suit a forest anyway, so we'll leave that one over there out the way. Okay, so we'll work on this one. Again, we'll just put a couple of bits of drainage screen over the holes. And we'll put a bit of soil in. Now, as for preparing it, I'll try and do it a little bit, but it's not going to be, may not be the overall finished composition. Probably won't bother with any rocks or anything in this one, or moss or anything. We'll just plant them. And I'm just going to sort them out here into roughly sizes so I can see what I'm looking at. Don't even know how many I've got. It should do okay because I actually tested to see if I pulled it out and repotted it, would it die. I tested one and I did it maybe a week or so ago and carried on growing like nothing happened. So, and I just carefully just teased them out like that. I didn't break any roots or anything. The soil was very wet. Okay, so height wise I would say this is probably our tallest one, so we'll start with this one. And like I said, I'll try not to do any root pruning if I don't have to, but there's ones like this maybe need a bit of, so no, I'm not even going to bother taking any bits of soil that are still clung. I'll leave that on. Maybe we'll put this one over this side. This one, and we'll have to do a little bit of a root prune. It's kind of, that root is taken off, so we'll just prune it back to there so it's kind of tall one here. We'll stick that one over this side. They'll probably intertwine with each other, but if we decide to do them as individual trees, we can take them out next year or something. But at least they won't grow deep roots. Maybe I'll trim that one just a little bit too. Kind of want to do them in a bit of order, but at the same time I want to keep them well spaced if I can. So each tree has room to grow. This one's probably a bit short for there. I'll move that one out there. Put this taller one in here. At the moment they're all more or less the same height and stuff, but as they grow I'm sure some will take off more than others. Two more, is it? Yeah, two more. Back here, it's a rock. Just put this one in here. We'll just put this one at the front here, doesn't really matter. As long as they're in the soil. Okay, so I'll just gently work all that in now. Try not to damage any roots. Just going to basically tap the top. And next year we'll probably take them out and we'll do a proper job of making a forest or whatever out of them. We might reduce the amount of in it. And anybody watching my channel knows I like to add some rocks and things, so we probably have something going on just the trees. But for now, just get them in so they can start growing and get a nice root spread, and they have a bit more room to grow. Okay, so look pretty okay there now. I'll have to decide if I'm going to grow it as more of a forest. Am I going to trim them as they grow and build it into more of an asymmetric kind of a thing, or what? But for now, we'll just let them grow this year and see how they get on. I probably will give it a top dressing of the Akadama, fine Akadama again, just to help hold them in. So I'll do that. It just helps to, when this gets wet, it just kind of helps to just hold the trees in place a bit better when they're not anchored in. I don't suppose these will move. I won't be putting them anywhere where they're in the wind or anything, but it'll just help them, and it looks a little bit better than all the mix. All that soil I'm using is basically a bit of everything, and there's some old soil mixed in with new soil and all sorts of different soil in it, but it's fine for this kind of job. Okay, so we'll put them out. I'll give them a good soaking along with the other one, this bigger one. So we'll put them out. There's the bigger one again, and we'll give them a good soaking. So I'll just bring in another tree just to have an update on it. Okay, so my update is on these little Chinese elms. These are all little cuttings that I grew. I had them in little pots, individual pots, and then I decided to plant them on this rock because I wanted to have the roots all hanging down. They sat dormant for a little while, but as you can see now they're all growing pretty good, and I just need to get rid of some of these weeds out of here. So this was just a piece of aquarium stone. I'm not sure the name of this stone. I got it a long time ago, but I never actually used it. So I had this vision of making a kind of a like a kind of a cliff kind of thing with all the roots hanging down from the top. I'm not sure about the wire. Probably could take the wire off the roots now as well. So get all this, get all these weeds out first. So I'll clean it up, and then we'll have a look at taking off all this wire. Okay, so I've got all the weeds out now. I'm just wondering about the wire. This one, it's locked on here and it's growing into the soil here, probably coming down here and down here. I might leave this wire on for another while. This one is growing through here, it's growing at the back here into a kind of a pocket, and then there's one root coming down through here which is tied on with this, and then it comes down. This one you can see it's got a strong root coming down here, and again it's growing into this pocket. So this wire will probably have to stay on for another while, but this one here, this one I might leave, but this one I could possibly take out now, I think. I don't want the wires scarring the roots if I can help it, but I also don't want to take them off too early. But I think this one will be okay. Now they're down into the soil down here and they're starting to grow. They should thicken up pretty quickly. But this one's kind of so thin, it was kind of twisting around the wire rather than the wire twisting around that. So that's why I just want to take off the wire on this one. So I'm going to snip it. I'm just going to snip it there. I don't know how far down into the soil it goes. Is that another root? Oh, that's another root. Okay, so that's that one cleaned off. So that can grow away there. I think it'll be solid enough. It'll probably straighten up now the wire's not on it and tighten up a bit. This one isn't too bad. I might leave that one and this one for another while. Let's get rid of some of these dead roots off it. Trees themselves, not a lot really needs to be done. We could probably prune these back a little bit. I don't want it to send out big long shoots. I know it'll help with the growth of the roots, but I'm not in a crazy hurry to get them growing quickly. I just want to keep the trees in some sort of check as well. See, they start sending out long shoots and they start losing all the leaves off the back of it. If we prune them back now, then it'll keep growing them back leaves. And you get more and more. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. We can probably leave it at that for now. Dead bit hanging off there. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now, but it's starting to turn out quite good. I think eventually one day when these roots all start taking, maybe this one at the back here we can get another root to come down here at some stage, and this one we probably would need a second root coming down somewhere, so maybe we'll kind of take it off one day and rearrange the roots on it. But other than that, it seems to be doing okay. So they all survived. I was a bit kind of thinking some of them mightn't. They stayed without leaf for a long time. So same with the one I had, the big one I have over the samurai. That one, I thought I'd lost that one, but it didn't seem to grow. When I repotted it, all my rest of my Chinese elms was carried on like nothing. But the one with the samurai lost all its leaves. They went very brown for a long time, and I thought it was I might lose it, but it's come back now into full leaf again. So yeah, and these are doing good, so we'll leave them off and see how they get on. So we'll call this one done. So as always guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.